good evening. You're listening to Quiet Sleep Cat, a calm place for slow stories and gentle rest. You don't need to focus. Just relax and let the night carry you. The street is very quiet when May realizes she is still awake. Not fully awake in a busy way, not restless in any sharp way, only awake enough to notice the hour, awake enough to feel that the town has already folded itself toward sleep while she is still walking through it. Moonlight Town is deep into night now. The bakery windows are dark, except for one low lamp near the back counter. The post office has lowered its last light. The library door is closed, and its stone steps hold only the pale blue of the sky. The bridge lantern still burns. It keeps its patient gold above the water. The small road beyond it lies calm and empty. Everything familiar is still there, only quieter, only farther away from the day. May walks without carrying anything tonight. No parcel, no basket, no folded cloth, no letter meant for someone else. Her hands are free inside her sleeves. That freedom feels strange after the last few nights. She is not on an errand. She is not late for anything. She is not needed anywhere. And yet she has not gone home as early as she meant to. Sometimes a person stays awake without knowing exactly why. Not because the night is troubling. Not because the heart is heavy. Only because the body has not yet found the doorway into rest. Breath in and out. May passes the corner behind the library. The stones there are smoother than the main road. A narrow side street curves between two low buildings, then bends toward a quieter part of town she rarely uses at this hour. During the day, this side street is simple. A path for deliveries. A way to reach the back of the bookshop. A shortcut toward the bridge when the market road is busy. But after midnight, it feels different. Not strange, only softer around the edges. The air smells faintly of old paper, rain-damp stone, and the last cooling smoke from small household stoves. A shutter rests loose against a window frame. Somewhere nearby, water drips slowly from a roof into a clay pot. The sound is so gentle that it seems almost placed there for the night to count. May slows near the bend. She thinks of turning back. Home is not far. Her room will be cool. Her lamp will be easy to light. Her blanket will be folded where she left it. And still, for one small moment, she does not feel ready to enter her own quiet room. Not because it is unwelcome, only because even a welcome room can sometimes feel like too sudden an ending to the day. She stands beneath the shadow of the library wall and listens. The town does not ask her what she is doing there. The street does not hurry her home. The bridge lantern shines where it always shines. Everything allows her to pause. That is when she notices a small warmth farther down the side street. Not bright enough to pull at her, not new enough to surprise her. Only a low amber glow behind a window she has passed before in daylight, without ever thinking much about it. A little room, still lit after midnight. A low lamp. A quiet window. A place May had never needed to notice until tonight. A little farther down the side street, a low lamp glows behind a small window. May takes a few slow steps toward it. The glow does not grow much brighter as she approaches. It stays low and contained, as if the room has learned how to keep warmth without spilling too much of it into the street. The window is narrow. The frame is wooden and bark. A small curtain is drawn halfway aside. Behind the glass, May can see the edge of a table, the round shoulder of a kettle, and the gentle shape of a chair turned slightly toward the window. She knows this place now. At least, she knows it in the way one knows many small-town rooms by sight. During the day, it is a little tea room near the back of the library street. Not busy, not famous. Just one of those quiet places people mention lightly and then forget until they need it. The Moonlit Tea Room. May has seen the door before. She has seen the small sign above it, though tonight the sign is too dim to read. She has passed by when a few people were inside in the late afternoon, drinking tea after errands, or sitting with books near the wall. But she has never seen it like this. Not after midnight. Not when the rest of the street has gone almost entirely dark. There is no chatter inside, no clatter of many cups, no sound of chairs being moved for daytime customers. Only a very faint kettle sound. A wooden room holding itself still. A lamp near a window. A chair waiting without impatience. May stops before the door. She does not reach for the handle yet. Something about the place seems to ask for a slower approach. Not because it is formal, because it is quiet in a way that can be disturbed by rushing. Breath in and out. Through the window, she can see 3 tables. One near the window, one close to the wall, one near a small black stove in the back corner. Each table has only what it needs: a cup, a folded cloth, a small dish for a spoon, nothing more. The room does not look empty. It looks available. That is different. Empty rooms can feel as if they are waiting for noise. This room feels as if it is waiting for quiet to sit down. May rests one hand lightly near the doorframe. She could leave. She could smile at the small lamp and continue home. No one would know. No one would expect anything from her. But the window table is turned slightly toward the street. The chair is pulled out just enough. The kettle shape rests beyond it. And May realizes, with a small inward softness, that she does not need a reason large enough to justify entering. Being awake is enough. Being not quite ready to go home is enough. Wanting a chair before the rest of the night is enough. She lifts the latch and opens the door. The wooden sound is very soft, no bright bell rings. Only the faintest note from a small metal chime near the frame, quiet enough to be more breath than sound. Warm air comes out to meet her. Tea, wood, low fire, clean cloth. A room that has stayed awake gently, without making the night feel late. May steps inside. When May opens the door, the tea room answers with warmth instead of questions. The room is smaller than it looked from the street. Or perhaps it only feels smaller because the light is low and kind. The ceiling beams hold shadow. The tables sit apart from one another. The stove in the back corner gives a faint red glow beneath its iron lid. Behind a low counter stands a woman May has seen once or twice before. Mrs. Vale, the tea room keeper. She is arranging cups on a folded cloth, one hand moving slowly, the other resting near a small brown kettle. She looks up as May enters. There is no surprise in her face, no question that arrives too quickly, only a soft attention, as if May's arrival is neither expected nor unexpected, but simply received. "Good evening," Mrs. Vale says. Then, after the smallest pause, she adds, "Or perhaps good night." May smiles gently. "I think it may be both." Mrs. Vale nods, as if that is a perfectly sensible answer. She does not ask why May is still outside. She does not ask whether something happened. She does not ask if May is waiting for someone, or avoiding something, or too tired to walk straight home. Instead, she glances toward the window table. "Would you like the window table?" May looks at it. The chair is turned slightly toward the glass. From there, one could see the side street, the library wall, and a small slice of the bridge road beyond the bend. It is not a grand view, only a quiet one. "Only if it is not waiting for someone," May says softly. Mrs. Vale's expression warms. "Tonight, it can wait with you." The sentence settles in the room without making a ripple. May does not know why it comforts her so much. Perhaps because it does not say the table belongs to her. Only that, tonight, it can keep her company. Breath in and out. May removes her scarf and places it carefully over the back of the chair. She sits slowly. The chair does not scrape. It gives one small wooden sigh, then becomes still beneath her. From this angle, the window gathers the street into a dark blue rectangle. The outside world remains visible, but not demanding. The road is there. The night is there. But both seem a little farther away now, softened by glass and lamplight. Mrs. Vale sets a cup on a small tray. She does not ask what May wants. Instead, she lifts a kettle and pours a pale tea that smells of chamomile, barley, and something faintly sweet, perhaps dried pear. "Very light," Mrs. Vale says, "only enough to make the hands warm." May nods. That sounds exactly right. The cup is brought to the window table and placed before her without ceremony. Mrs. Vale sets down a folded cloth beside it, then steps back. She does not remain standing near the table. She does not hover. She returns to the counter, giving the tea, the chair, and the silence enough room to do their work. May wraps both hands around the cup. The warmth enters her palms first. Then, slowly, as if by permission, it enters the rest of her. The tea room has not asked her a single question, and already she feels as if something in her has been allowed to stop answering. The cup is placed in front of her without hurry. That is the first thing May notices. Not the taste, not even the warmth, the pace of it, the way the cup arrived, as though nothing in the room believed rest had to be earned quickly. May lifts it slowly. The steam is faint. The tea is pale gold in the low light. It smells soft enough to sleep beside. Chamomile, barley, dried pear, maybe one thin slice of ginger, too mild to wake the tongue. She takes a small sip. The warmth is quiet. It does not announce itself. It does not try to brighten her thoughts. It does not make anything suddenly better. It only gives her something warm to hold inside the moment. That is enough. May sits with the cup between her hands and looks around the tea room more carefully. There are 3 tables, just as she saw from outside. The window table where she sits. The wall table in the deeper shadow. The stove table near the little iron warmth at the back. Each table feels different, not by decoration. There is almost none, only by distance, by light, by the direction of the chair, by how close it is to the door, or the window, or the stove. The window table allows a person to remain in conversation with the night. The wall table allows someone to sit where the room holds them from behind. The stove table allows tired hands to be near heat without needing to speak. May wonders if Mrs. Vale arranged them that way on purpose. Then she decides it does not matter. Some forms of care may begin on purpose and become natural over time. Breathe in and out. May had not thought of herself as tired when she entered. That surprises her now. Outside, she had only felt awake, a little delayed from sleep, a little not ready for her room. But sitting here, she understands that tiredness can hide inside motion. A person can keep walking and not know they needed a chair. A person can keep listening to the night and not know they needed a cup. A person can keep saying they are almost ready to go home and not know they needed 10 quiet minutes before the door. Mrs. Vale moves behind the counter. A cloth is folded. A spoon is set down. A small lid is placed back on a tin. None of the sounds is sharp. Each one seems softened before it reaches May's table. The room is not silent. It is better than silent. It is quiet, with gentle evidence of someone keeping the place awake. May takes another sip. The tea has cooled slightly. it is easier to drink now. The warmth settles in her chest and stays there without insistence. No one asks why she came in. No one asks if she is sad. No one asks what she needs. The cup does not ask questions. The chair does not ask questions. The low lamp does not ask questions. And because of that, May begins to feel the answer in herself loosen without needing to be spoken. She needed a place between walking and sleeping, a small room before her own room, a cup before the rest of the night. The tea room did not ask why she was still awake. It only made a place for her to sit. After a while, May begins to understand the room differently. At first, it seemed like a tea room open late, a small kindness in the side street, a warm lamp where most lamps had gone out. Now it feels like something more specific, not a secret place, not a place meant to be found by those in trouble. Only a room that knows some nights need a pause before they can finish. May looks through the window. The street outside is exactly as it was before. Blue stone, low wall, library shadow, a faint line of road near the bend. Nothing has changed there. And yet the night feels easier from this side of the glass. Not smaller, not solved. Only easier to sit inside. Mrs. Vale comes by once to refill the little pot, not May's cup. She sets the kettle down on the table and asks only, "Warm enough?" May nods. "Yes, thank you." Mrs. Vale does not ask anything else. That, too, feels like part of the service. The tea is one part. The silence is another. The distance from questions is another still. After a few more minutes, May asks, "Is it always open this late?" Mrs. Vale looks toward the low lamp in the window. "Not always." Then she smiles faintly. "Only on the nights when the room is needed." May considers that. It could sound mysterious if said differently, but Mrs. Vale says it plainly, like someone saying the stove is lit when the weather grows cold, or the front step is swept when leaves gather there. "So you know?" May asks softly. Mrs. Vale folds a cloth over her arm. "Not always." She looks around the room. "I only try to leave the lamp on long enough for someone to decide." That answer rests in May more gently than any explanation could. The room does not summon people. It does not claim to know who is tired. It only leaves a lamp. It leaves a table. It leaves a cup within reach. Breath in and out. May thinks of all the ways Moonlight Town has offered care without insisting on being noticed. A light on a road. A parcel carried before morning. A notebook left where wishes can rest. And now, this room. A place not for solving anything, only for letting the night pause around a person without requiring a reason. The tea in her cup is almost finished. She takes another small sip and lets it be the second to last one. There is comfort in not rushing the end of something. Even a cup of tea deserves a gentle ending. The stove gives a faint sound in the back corner. Outside, a tiny drip falls from the roof into the street. Mrs. Vale adjusts the window lamp so its shade turns slightly away from the glass, softening the light even more. The room seems to breathe after that. Not literally, only in arrangement. Light lowered, cup warmed, chair steady, street waiting beyond glass. May understands then that the tea room has not pulled her away from the night. It has let the night rest for a little while in one warm corner. And when she goes back outside, she thinks, the road will still be there, but she will not be returning to it quite the same way. When she finally rises, the night outside is still waiting. It has not grown impatient. It has not changed its shape. The same side street lies beyond the window. The same library wall rests in blue shadow. The same road turns toward home. May places the empty cup carefully on its small dish. She folds the cloth once, though it does not need folding. The gesture feels like a quiet thank you to the table. Mrs. Vale notices, but does not comment. She only comes to collect the cup and says, "The road should be calm now." May smiles softly. "I think it was calm before." "Yes," Mrs. Vale says, "but sometimes we need to become calm enough to meet it." May takes that sentence with her as she wraps her scarf around her neck. The chair makes a small wooden sound as she moves it back under the table. The window lamp glows beside her. The tea room remains exactly what it was when she entered. And yet, it feels more known to her now. At the door, Mrs. Vale opens it before May reaches for the latch. Cool air enters gently. The side street appears again, quiet and blue. "Good night," Mrs. Vale says. "Good night," May answers. There is no promise to return. No invitation spoken too clearly. No explanation of when the tea room will be open again. That feels right. Some places are better when they do not insist on themselves. They are there when they are there, warm when needed, quiet when closed. Breath in and out. May steps outside. The street is cool against her face. The warmth of the cup remains in her hands, though the cup itself is gone. That small absence is pleasant, like the memory of a blanket after standing up from a chair. She begins walking home, slowly at first, then with a steadier pace. The road is not shorter. The bridge is not nearer. The town has not moved to make her walk easier. But something in her has been allowed to settle. And that is enough. At the bend, she looks back. The Moonlit Tea Room still holds its low lamp in the window. From outside, it appears small, almost ordinary. A warm square in a side street after midnight. But May now knows the room inside. The window table, the wall table, the stove table, Mrs. Vale's soft hands around the kettle, the cup that did not ask questions. She turns toward home again. The night receives her more easily now. Or perhaps she receives the night more easily. It is hard to tell the difference. The tea room had not made the night smaller. It had only made one corner of it warm enough to sit inside. The road was still waiting outside, but now May was ready to return to it more softly. And somewhere behind her, in the small side street near the library wall, a low lamp stayed on a little longer, not calling anyone in, not asking anyone why they were awake, only keeping a chair ready in case the night needed one more gentle pause. Good night, and sleep well.